You know, I am not often surprised by like a movie going into it, and I had seen the trailer. Well, not the whole trailer, but you kind of Netflix has kind of like the little previews, and they're always pushing whatever they want. And it showed the like I don't know what you would call that bumper, I suppose, for Carry On, and I was like Taron Egerton and Jason Bateman in what looks to be some kind of like cross between like phone booth and like Die Hard kind of mentality. A lot more like phone booth, but it's a Christmas action film, so Die Hard. But I was like, I'm gonna sit down. I had this whole gimmick planned out where every time I was gonna mention the word carry on, I was gonna cut to like Kansas because I just assumed the movie was gonna be schlock, and to a small extent it is. I mean, you have to like suspension of belief, disbelief, it plays a small part in it. Like some characters make mistakes that you would just be like, for example, and this is non-spoiler. I'm going to do non-spoilers because I think people should watch it. But if you're being chased by a car through an airport terminal, like the receiving and drop-offs, departures kind of mentality, why would you run straight? There are so many cars, just run to the side. It's like that Prometheus problem. So just run to the side. They can't follow you if you run back into the building. And so like stuff like that was like, okay, well, we got to have this sequence, I suppose, which was just completely unnecessary. But to be fair, it did end with a pretty cathartic killing of the villain who was chasing the character. So I was okay with it at the end, but at the time I was kind of rolling my eyes. The movie itself, for the most part, does a pretty good job taking like a very kind of like tropey film and elevating it with some like really clever dialogue. Characters are a lot smarter than we would initially give them credit for, especially coming out of Netflix, if you know what I mean. Jason Bateman, dynamite as the villain. He's just magnetic, and the scene where he reveals himself to Taron Egerton is just it's so cool. I mean, like honestly, I was like, all right, this is fun. This is fun. The movie does have a lot of fun, and that's the one thing I want to kind of get across in this is even though it's a 2-hour movie, and how I'm always complaining about runtime, I overall really enjoyed it. I thought they really paced most of the sequences and scenes out very well, so they kind of flow naturally into each other, and they get through their set pieces. I do have, I would say, 2 minor complaints. One, we spend too much time at the beginning of the movie, and again, this really isn't a spoiler because it takes place within the first 10 minutes. They set up that Taron Egerton and his girlfriend are pregnant, right? And they talk about how he wanted to be a cop, but he got drummed out of the academy for some reason, how he's never really felt passionate about anything since then. And then when Jason Bateman figures out that, we got to pivot. Taron Egerton's now at this station that we were expecting this other guy to be at. He goes, oh, didn't you want to be a cop? Isn't your girlfriend now pregnant? Aren't you just passing through life? And so it's like you've repeated yourself within the first like 10, 15 minutes of the movie. You've established the character twice, and it's completely unnecessary. As a matter of fact, I think there would have been more of an emotional resonance if you had started with the movie with him already at work, asking for a promotion, and then people being like, why do you want a promotion now? You've never cared about this job. And then we slowly reveal that his girlfriend's pregnant. We then reveal that she works at the airport. I didn't like the story where he's like, he followed her to LA because he had nothing else to do because he was so listless. I think it would have made more sense. It was just like a workplace romance. They had both been working there and then progressed from there. But like I said, it's a small problem. It's just awfully redundant and heavy-handed within the first 15 minutes, and I was like, oh boy, I still have an hour and 45 minutes of this. But they get really good about it later. They really move at quite a brisk pace. Like I said, Jason Bateman is just so much fun to watch. They mostly do pretty smart things. The ending of the movie was kind of anticlimactic for me personally. Like, I won't go into spoilers why. There was like this plot device that I thought was going to have like kind of like an important thing. No, you know what? Fuck it. You guys have made it this far. If you haven't seen the movie, go see it now. I'm going to talk about the one thing at the end that really bothered me. And it didn't really bother me, but spoilers for the ending of Carry On. So remember how, God, I don't remember any of the characters' names, but LAPD Black Cop, right? How she has one handcuff on Taron Egerton's character And then he knocks her over, and as he runs away, yells all the information she needs to know. I thought for sure the reason why he still had the handcuff on was he was going to see that Jason Bateman was going to set off the bomb in the bowels of the plane anyway, or like start to do something just to like prove a point. And I thought he was going to have to decompress like the cargo hold and use the handcuff to latch onto something in the cargo hold as everything was flying out the plane, including Jason Bateman. That's not what happened. So the handcuff didn't really do anything. And to be honest, Jason Bateman's death there in like the, the vacuum sealed fridge, that was pretty lame. I thought it was going to be a decompression thing where he's going to use the handcuff to latch himself onto something. But like I said, if my biggest complaints are they reintroduced the character twice within 15 minutes, and the first one is very boring, him talking to his girlfriend. It's much more exciting for us, the viewer, to have Jason Bateman reveal the character to us and have him like kind of panic about it. Much more fun. And then the ending was a little weak. But the rest of it is like, if you like movies like Speed or Die Hard or any of like those 90s like kind of like action slot like movies, this was right up there with them. I had a great time watching it. Highly recommend it. If you guys have seen it and you liked it, let me know. And yeah, I guess I'll talk to you later.